welcome back to part 3. So I have left in all the filing and the top coat and the 3D. What you don't have is the application, because unfortunately, because I was trying to upload more than one video at the same time, I deleted one by accident, so I'm really sorry. I'm a bit gutted because I had a couple of mistakes in the application that I corrected, and I was really looking forward to leaving those on. So anyway, you have got prep, you have got tip application, you have got finish filing and 3D. So sorry, very sorry, terribly gutted. Anyway, moving on. So we are filing these nails. We're taking it nice and slow. This video is in real time. So 20 minutes ish to file 3D top coat. So I would say that this set was probably around 3 hours. Yeah, probably about 3 hours, but you know, I wasn't rushing. You can tell that from how fast I'm going. So for me, because I do the majority of redesigns and new sets as opposed to doing infills with gel polish, my average length of time is 2 to 2.5 hours if I work straight through. So I tend to do 3 clients a day if I'm doing all acrylic designs. I also do waxing, but I may do 4 sets a day if one of them is an infill or a gel polish design, you know, or I might fill it with waxing. So 3 is about my limit, and then busy times, Christmas, I may stretch to 4, but I don't like rushing. You know, I think the whole premise of what I do is the fact that my clients are there, I take my time, it's their time, they know that I've put the effort in. So for me, that's the biggest seller for me, especially when you work from home, because you're not on the constraints that you would be if you were in a salon, etc. So yeah, doing the filing, I'm using my 100-180 grit files from Tracy Lou. Buffing block is from CJP. The colours that I have used in this set are Perfect Peach, which is a beautiful colour, beautiful nude. It's quite difficult to work with, which you would have seen if I hadn't deleted the other video. There you go. But it files up beautifully. It doesn't ombre well. So on the middle finger, I had a bit of a ball ache getting it to ombre, so in the end we did a glitter swoosh. The glitter that I have used is Berrylicious from Tracy Lou. Went beautifully with this set. So on this finger we have done a glitter slice. On the middle we have done an ombre type thing with a glitter swoosh. And then on the index finger we have done a glitter cuff. So we chose this set from a picture that was on Instagram. Can't remember off the top of my head who the tech was, put it up, but I did tag her on Instagram with an inspo credit, so I'll just see if I can find it again and I can let you know who that was. Okay, there we go. Isabel's Nails was the original design. She did the design in like a burnt orange and nude. But yeah, we chose this nude. It doesn't ombre well. If anyone uses CJP, Perfect Peach, if you've got any tips on ombreing with it, then please let me know. But I actually think it's just too pigmented to do it. It doesn't blend well. So we gave up and did a glitter swoosh instead. So you can see my filing takes the same, it's the same routine every single time. Don't vary it. Get yourself in a habit, whichever way you do it, get yourself in a habit of doing it that exact same way, because that way you will get uniformity across your nails. It's still a work on progress for me. I still want to get my nails sharper. I want to get that shaping better. So it's always something I'm working on, but it's getting better and better as time goes on. My sets are getting better, so that's good. So checking while I'm filing on that finger there, I'm taking out the bulk on that edge. It's what we call a muffin top nail. And basically it's just where you go to file it and you think you've got to file the side, and you end up filing so much you file the colour away. And it's not, you need to file it from over the top. So where you can see where I was filing, it was up and over the top of the nail, not at the side, because you're thinning the side down, not the actual edge, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So once I've finished filing, come in with my buffing block, smooth it all out, make sure that there's no scratches, lines, bare bits, that sort of thing. So I'm doing this voiceover on this final bit before I go and have my lashes done today. Monday is a day off for me. Recently changed booking apps, so I'm in the process of changing all that over. I do have now regular customers booked in right up until Christmas next year, which is how I like it. So go doing that cuticle slow, do it nice and slow. I'm using my thumb to protect that finger. I'm pulling the skin back so that the file hits my thumb before it hits that skin. When I go round to the other side, I'm using my middle finger to pull that skin back. And when I'm filing further down the nail, I then use my thumb or my middle finger to support the nail. So you're constantly turning, you're constantly looking at that nail from every angle. Look down the barrel of the nail. You can see then if the product's even on both sides. You can also see if the tip is too thick. We're going back in with the buffer. When I have filed and buffed, I come in with a cotton wool pad and acetone, and I wipe over the nail to remove the dust and to give me a clear look at all of the nails before we go to top coating. I then go back and refile if I need to. As always, at the end of these 4 fingers, I will flip my client's hand round, file from that angle. Usually do that on all tapered square, ballerina, square type nails. Not so much on almond, because it's usually a little bit easier to see from this angle whether they're straight or not. But stiletto I still do it on, especially longer nails, can be a little bit harder. So because I capped this nail, because I capped the Cola Cubes colour in clear before I did that cuff, it meant that those little bits of glitter that are sitting on top of that coloured section file off. They're not embedded into it. So when I did the glitter cuff, I laid the Cola Cubes colour first, kept a wall at that top edge, and then filed it before I put my glitter in. And that way you still get that nice curved edge. Probably the 4th time I've done a glitter cuff. I've tried it in various different ways. I've done it with gel polish. I've done it by putting the glitter in first and capping it. This is the 4th one. It's the best one yet. So yeah, just flipping that hand around, having a look from her view, flat filing the end of the nail to make sure it's nice and straight, and then just check those edges and file from that angle, because you can then get the shape that the client's going to see. So it highlights any bent or, you know, wonky fingers. I think when you're doing this, you need to have a good sturdy file, which is why I use the Tracy Lou ones. They are the best I've ever used. Lots of people now are using metal file boards with the replacement sand strips that they stick onto it. I've never tried one, so I don't know how good they are, but I like that little bit of flexibility when I'm buffing or filing over that cuticle area. So not something I've looked at trying yet. And I don't want to get in the habit of having one board for, you know, getting the edges straight, and then one board to do the cuticle, and then a buffer to do, yeah, can't be doing with that. So I'll stick to my files for now. I'm just buffing over, highlighting any areas where I still need to file it off. I use acetone on a cotton pad. It's a tip that I picked up from watching Kirsty Meakin from Nao Nails. It basically cleans all the dust off, and it also slightly melts that top layer, which will help your top coat go on nicely as well. So it just gives a nice service for top coating. So you can see when I get around that cuticle, just slow it down. The best thing about using CJP products is, of course, it's very easy to file. So you don't have to file like mad. Some of the other systems that I've tried, you have to file a lot more. So just another reason why I love that company. Got one last order to put in before we hit December, so mainly a couple of pots of coloured acrylic and mainly nail glue and prep spray plus, that sort of thing. But it does mean then that all of Christmas, all of December's money will be my Christmas money, so it means I can make a start because I have nothing. So just coming in around that cuticle with a buffer. A buffer is really, really good if you're not confident doing cuticles. You can use a buffer to file that cuticle in. We went with Cola Cubes. My niece loves pink. She chose the glitter first, and I convinced her to have Cola Cubes because it's darker. I just thought it'd be a nice change for her. She absolutely loved them. They are shorter than she would normally like, but she liked that too. So now we've got that buffed and cleaned off, we are going to be putting, I think it's called a teardrop crystal, and we are then going to be adding 3D petals. My 3D was not the best. Now you can see the joy of trying to pick up a bigger gem with a wax pencil. Gave up on that one, went to the one that was in the plastic lid. So you just need to get these in the right place so they stick. Now what happens is, when you then put your 3D on, it helps support that gem, and because it's in the corner, they're not going to keep catching it. So that's a really good tip. Tiny amount of gripper glue. Tiny amount. Make sure you don't top coat until that glue has dried, or top coat the nail first, buff the area that you're putting the gem on, and then do your 3D, and that way you don't have to worry about it. I don't advise top coating over your gems, you just ruin them if you do that. If you top coat up to and around them, the top coat will shrink around it and hold it in place, and that way your gems will stay on for longer. Most of my clients come back 3 weeks or more with their gems still on, and I have to crack them off with an old pair of cuticle nippers because they're still that strong. So that's my tip. I tend to use Swarovski style crystals just because they look so much nicer. I don't like the cheap coloured crystals. You know, you get what you pay for, and they just look cheap. No point doing a beautiful set of nails and then sticking some plastic coloured gems on. It's just ruins it. Sparkly, that's what you want. I am looking at a Swarovski supplier, but at the minute I need to get Christmas out of the way first, and then I can start building a nice collection. I need to get my glitter sorted first. That's all going into pots at the minute. So doing these first 3 petals quite flat because we're going to put another little one in the centre of them. So I don't want those too raised. Wasn't the best 3D I've ever done, not going to lie. I don't enjoy using coloured acrylic to do 3D. I find white works a lot better, but we couldn't have done white on this set because it just would not have gone. So I'm just playing with that acrylic. I'm using my 3D Precise brush from CJP for this 3D. I also have a Glitter Planet size 5 3D brush, which is very good. I tend to use that on larger stuff. Once I've done the 3D, I then add a little Swarovski gem onto the little finger and the thumb. Top coat all of the nails, and you will see me run my thumb along the edge or the free edge of the nails after I've top coated. This just takes off any excess that's pulled down the side of the nail. It's a very good tip to use if you are gel polishing as well, because those layers will add bulk. So if you remove the excess with your thumb, it doesn't pull and you keep your shape nice and sharp. Obviously lots of techs wear gloves when they're doing this. I don't like the feel of gloves. They make my hands sweat too much and then I get really itchy hands, so I prefer not to. I think if I was doing more sets a day I probably would, but doing 2 or 3 it's not so much of an issue. So I'm not doing anything fancy on these petals, literally just using the shape of that brush to flatten them out and then doing to a point. So I have left the top coating and the gem placement, everything on this video. I do apologise that we don't have the design element of it. That's a lesson learnt from me. Either upload it and store it in a cloud somewhere, or make sure you don't delete stuff before it's uploaded, because I think that's what happened. So apologies for that, but you do have three videos to give you a good idea on, you know, how I work. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you to my new subscribers. I now have 56, I think, which is amazing. And thank you so much to those of you that have left me comments saying that you enjoy it, or given me feedback, or sent me messages. You know, I really appreciate it. I am enjoying doing it, and I'm happy to do it for as long as you guys are happy to watch. So thank you so much. Please do hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and please do give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Any comments are very gratefully received and will always be answered. Thank you very much for your time, guys. I'll be back very soon. Bye bye.